Jeffrey Epstein's little black book is slowly being released by the FBI. Heavily redacted right now, and there's a bunch of questions surrounding it, but I'm going to level with you guys. I'm just a little bit blackpilled when it comes to the Epstein client list. I really don't care. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't give a crap what comes out from the FBI releases, because if they had anything that they could actually use to weaponize against anybody, we would have seen this 5 years ago, because they've had it for how long? And plus 80 of the 100 and some odd names have already been released by Ryan Dawson thanks to FOIA requests and then interviews with some of the victims piecing together the names. It's like, yeah, we kind of already know what's on there. So yeah, I think that this is just a bunch of sensationalist trickle-feeding nonsense. And if you just go to the initial ruling from the judge who wanted all of this stuff unsealed, yeah, just get those names out there. And okay, frankly, we get all of the names. What can the average person do with them other than go, wow, Bill Clinton, why were you flying so often? And Bill Gates, what were you doing over there as well? Taking a look at all the other powerful and wealthy individuals, making your little connections, and yeah, outside of some good citizen journalism that might come out of it, what ultimately is this going to do? Like I said, the FBI has had this for how long, and they haven't done anything with it by putting it out in the public. What do they hope to accomplish with that? But no. Apparently, somebody who knows everything, right? Jeffrey Epstein said if he revealed what I know about both candidates in 2016 election, the 2016 election would have been canceled, according to his brother. Yeah, interesting, because yeah, we know that Hillary and Bill were frequent flyers on the Lolita Express, as opposed to Trump, who took one of the charter flights across the continental United States. And then, oh yeah, nobody else wants to talk about the fact that he had a blanket ban on all of his properties for Epstein and his associates. But no, don't talk about that, man. But I don't really care what his brother has to say about this, because frankly, his brother's about as superfluous to this story as well. Everybody's speculating on what exactly is in there, but since we have your attention right now, the Epstein client list is being held up for safety of a Jane Doe 107. So this is the way that things are being released right now. So you have Jane Doe, John Doe's, you have all of these anonymous names and a whole bunch of connections that they have in there. So John Doe 107, Doe's request for a 30-day extension is approved. Doe 107 shall, by January 22nd, 2024, submit to the court for in-camera review an affidavit supporting her assertion that she faces a risk of physical harm in her country of residence, and providing details concerning the hate mail she has received. Great. Another one of these, oh my god, I'm under attack right now. Look at all of these death threats and vile messages I'm receiving. Doe 107's counsel may also provide, by this date, any additional factual support for Doe 107's contention that unsealing the relevant records would put her at risk of physical harm. So ordered, signed, Judge Loretta Prescott, and that's the one who wanted everything just simply blanket released at the beginning of the year. So this is everything that's being held up for this one individual. And who could it possibly be? One of the names that is, of course, linked to Epstein is Chrissy Teigen, the old supermodel turned activist turned beach ball turned handler for one John Legend. Chrissy Teigen has blocked over 1 million Twitter users, made her account private, and deleted over 60,000 of her own tweets after people connected her to convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, do you think that one, somebody who has a history of playing the victim card after just wheeling out a whole bunch of terrible takes online, sounds pretty familiar. It's either that or, well, it wouldn't be Hillary. It wouldn't be Hillary Clinton, because, okay, if there was anybody that got in her way, we know how she deals with problems. Not really through the courts or anything like that, but I think a far funnier angle that can be taken from this is the budding rivalry that is emerging between one Aaron Rodgers, based as hell as he is, and late night hack Jimmy Kimmel. What the hell is this all about? Okay, well this all harkens back to a clip from earlier this week, a couple of days ago. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers says that he will pop some sort of bottle when Epstein Associates list is revealed and suggests Jimmy Kimmel will be named. So he's there on Pat McAfee Live, and we can play the clip here, okay? Pat McAfee, the bitch that he is, has walked back his inclusion in this clip in the subsequent days. So we'll just let Aaron speak for himself on this one.
Bring it up, Foxy or somebody back there.
Seats on it.
Bring up Super Bowl 58.
You'll see it.
The emblem, put it on the screen. And then bring up 57 and 56.
Does that have something to do with the Epstein list that came out?
Feels like
That's supposed to be coming out soon.
Look, this guy's been waiting in his wine cellar. Yeah. I've been waiting in my wine cellar for this thing.
A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't.
No, just keep it. We're gonna be lighting fun. We're just a couple of guys knocking it around. Ugh, I hate sports talk so much.
All right, obviously, a clip from this particular program was run on Jimmy Kimmel's show. Whenever Aaron brought up the list, and then Jimmy mocked him for it. Aaron has not forgotten about that, but here we are, sitting right in front of that nice bottle of scotch. What do you say? I'm waiting to celebrate something.
Oh, yeah.
He's been waiting
That's
for
the one.
You've been waiting for
Oh my god, it's so fucking hack. But you basically get the gist of it, and then Jimmy Kimmel slapping back at this dear asshole. For the record, I've not met, flown with, visited, or had any contact whatsoever with Epstein, nor will you find my name on any list other than clearly phony nonsense that soft-brained wackos like yourself can't seem to distinguish from reality. Your reckless words put my family in danger. Oh, shut up, you drama queen. Maybe you're Jane Doe. Keep it up, and we will debate the facts further in court. My lawyers will be in communication. But these guys have apparently been having this pissing contest for a while, and let's just go over some of this stuff, okay? The beef originated in November of 2021 when Kimmel slammed Rodgers after the then Packers quarterback tested positive for the coof. Oh, yeah, right. That was all of that stuff back in the day when Aaron Rodgers was like, I'm vaccinated. Oh, you took the jab? I'm vaccinated. There. Kimmel referenced Rodgers taking the homeopathic treatment instead, and then took a dig at Rodgers' hairdo. Oh my god. We should have known, because nothing says I heal myself with crystals like this haircut. I mean, a little knot on top. Holy shit, you're supposed to be a comedian, and you have an entire writer's room, and that's the best joke that you can come up with. Oh, you got a knot on the top of your head. Oh, you're one of those goofs that are out there, even though he probably has several associates. He might not have flown on the Lolita Express, but died suddenly. It's probably a very common term that's used in those circles. Aaron is a Karen, and that's a matter of fact. Ha ha ha! Hit the applause. All right. So our first guest of the evening. Oh, God. Kimmel then called out Rodgers for misleading others about his vaccination status as a future Hall of Famer. Infamously said he was immunized. That's what he was saying. I'm immunized. What does he mean by that? I'm immunized. Shut your mouth. And the only thing worse than not getting vaccinated is getting vaccinated and then falling over. Oopsie daisy. When you're in close proximity with other people is letting them know you're vaccinated when you're not. Wow, what does the science say about that? Oh, okay, cool. Is that kind of analogous to that whole joke that was going around where make sure that you guys take all of your vitamins, otherwise mine don't work? Interesting. Kimmel ripped Rodgers for being a whack Packer. Oh my god, nothing. Now we're just getting hack squared on this one where you're riffing off of an old Howard Stern bit, not being satisfied that you were on the losing side of this at the time and now with the hindsight of research. Days later, Kimmel again went after Rodgers for his anti-vaccination comments directed towards the woke mob while on the Pat McAfee show. Kimmel particularly took issue with Rodgers saying he'd received advice from Joe Rogan, including using ivermectin. This was a dumb conversation, Kimmel said of Rodgers' talk with McAfee and AJ Hawk, but you'll never guess who this whack Packer has been getting his medical advice from. Oh, I don't know, somebody who contracted an illness and then somehow got over the worst part of the symptoms in a matter of days, as opposed to somebody who is constantly having to tweet out, yes, I recently got infected, but thank God it's not worse, and I'll just have to isolate for 10 days because, well, thank God for Pfizer and Moderna. He added, how does somebody who almost hosted Jeopardy come up with 40 incorrect responses in a row? Yeah, that's so funny because I seem to recall at the time when Aaron Rodgers did contract the illness, he was only down for like a day or so, and then he had a very swift recovery. But no, he's the cretin, right? Rodgers unveils conspiracy theories about UFOs. Yeah, imagine that. He's very inquisitive dude. I don't know what you're talking about here. Okay, here's some wild shit going on right now with Pat McAfee. Rodgers later referenced the Epstein list. Okay, did you hear? Did you guys hear about the Epstein list? Client list is supposed to be released too. Rodgers asked McAfee. There's some files that have some names on it. Might be getting released pretty soon. Ghislaine Maxwell was the only person ever convicted of trafficking, and nobody was ever involved in the trafficking ever went to jail. So nothing to see here. Yes, of course, she was convicted. Remember, at the end of 2021 of trafficking people to who exactly, and who are the victims, and how does all this stuff work? Not entirely sure, but don't worry, guys. They have the list, they have all of the relevant information, and your government, they'll be the ones looking after you. Kimmel responds to Rodgers' UFO conspiracy theory. Needless to say, all of this UFO talk and the tinfoil hatters going wild, including Green Bay whack packer Aaron Rodgers. Kimmel said before showing clips of Rodgers' statement on the Pat McAfee show, "It might be time to revisit a concussion protocol, Aaron." Why do you got this third-rate bitch that's on in the middle of the night, okay, taking shots at somebody who's won a chip and how many different MVPs? You're going to call him a tinfoil hatter? You were the guy who was pushing so heavily. You didn't quite have the dancing troupe that Stephen Colbert did, but you were an awful big cheerleader. I'm surprised that you didn't, break out the old Karl Malone face paint and do a nice little cheer for your chosen big pharma company, whoever's funding your hack late-night show. Rodgers' friend and then teammate David Bakari, who plays left tackle for the Packers, clapped back at Kimmel by quote-tweeting Kimmel's comments while saying, "Tell me you're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list without telling me you're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list." Based Bakari, that's my guy right there. What did Rodgers say? Rodgers fired back at Jimmy Kimmel in January of 2024 by referencing the Epstein list that is set to be released. That's supposed to be coming out soon. There are a lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, that are really hoping that doesn't come out. Well, whatever do you mean by that? And of course, Jimmy, well, he took that personally because, well, I guess his writers weren't really working on his response on that one. Clearly, because of the glaring typo, but don't worry about that. McAfee then referenced the Rodgers-Kimmel beef history, referencing how Kimmel ripped Rodgers for quotes made on McAfee's show. "I'll tell you what, if that list comes out, I will definitely be popping some sort of bottle." Exactly, man. He's got nothing but time on his hands. The Jets aren't making the playoffs, and he's still recovering from that super unfortunate Achilles tear. So it's going to be something that goes back and forth throughout the rest of the year. And yeah, if we start off 2024 with some actual names coming out from the Epstein list, it'll be interesting. But again, I'm not going to hold my breath because I would imagine there's going to be some powerful people, if they are in fact on the list. Okay, some people that maybe the deep state don't want to specifically target. Maybe we'll get some names, but are we going to get the full unredacted list? Come on, man. I think we all know better than that. But common W, Aaron Rodgers, and a very, very common L for stupid-ass Jimmy Kimmel. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.